It's going to be an interesting video.
My name's John. I host the Radical Empathy podcast. I used to direct episodes of Middle Ground.
Props down. Wait, who's this? A Middle Ground or Jubilee? Jubilee, give props to this. Bringing in bodybuilders and people on the opposite spectrum.
But I'll now be moderating today's discussion between jacked men and fat men. Our first prompt is, I have felt disgusted looking at a fat body. Can our agreeers please step forward?
This is going to be a crazy video.
Whoever feels compelled to start us off.
Fat.
Okay. That's a great start. I mean, I know why you say that, but it's one of those things where, do you know why you're saying that?
Yes, because I've been fat before and I lost the weight.
Well, me too. I've been fat my whole life. I've been way skinnier than I am now, and I've been way heavier than I am now. Was I less valuable at one point in there?
Well, I mean, you can make an argument that you're less valuable when you're fatter because you drain resources, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, in general, being fat is unacceptable because you control every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth.
Okay.
It shows a lack of discipline, it shows a lack of character, it shows a lack of temperance, and when you're fat, it's an outward manifestation of your inadequacies.
When I see somebody who's 500 or 600 pounds, all I can think of is, why do they care so little about their health that they can do this, allow themselves to gain that much weight, knowing it's taken 20, 30, 40 years off their life? I just can't imagine not wanting to live that badly.
That's a fair point.
I understand that. No, it's I've definitely felt disgusted looking at my own body and looking at other fat bodies in my life. A lot of the disgust I felt looking at people was me feeling disgusted with myself and then projecting that feeling onto other people. And I don't think anyone on either side will disagree.
I feel like Greg's opinion is going to be so strict. Like, I've never seen this guy not serious when it comes to fitness.
That health is important. I know that my own mental health was way worse when I was spending every fixate of my life trying to get smaller and trying to be thinner.
I don't think there's anyone that can look at somebody 500, 600, 700 pounds and not think, wow, what have they done? And not be disgusted. Like, how can you not? I just can't understand.
You can't
nobody
assume that everyone has the same opinion, though, because unfortunately, some people have emotional stuff that happened, traumatic stuff that's happened.
Wait,
so
I wonder what was the prompt for this video? Like, you know when they hire people for the videos, and they normally they'll be like, oh, we need 5 volunteers for the button. It's a dating show, blah blah blah. What do they say for this? Did they go we need 5 fat people and 5 fit people, or did they just approach them? I don't know.
Just count and just say, because they're fat.
Boo-hoo, man. There's way worse stuff going out in the world versus people saying, oh my God, I'm sad, I'm gonna eat some ice cream. It's no, dude, it's you're fat, you made that decision, you live in the best country ever. If you live in a civilized first world country where you have electricity, internet power, etc., you deserve to be bullied. It's ridiculous to me that we have all these fat people running around, meanwhile people are being bombed in Gaza. It's ridiculous. We are so privileged here in the United States and in the West in general. When I see a fat person, I'm like, wow. You got the gift of life, you got the gift of being in a developed country, and you're a fat POS talking about body positivity on TikTok? What the hell is going on here?
But now you're segmenting, though, because not everyone thinks like that.
No, we need to bring shaming back.
Okay.
We need to bring shaming back in so many other regards besides obesity. We need to do it with sluts. We need to shame fat people. We need to shame everybody when they fuck up. Because shame has been one of the strongest defenses against degeneracy and human.
That's
you had a personal experience you wanted to share.
I don't agree with everything you say.
No, you're not.
Oh yeah, so I did an experiment back in 2015 where I bulked for almost 2 years, and I got up to 250 pounds, and then I dieted down. It took me about 7 months. I systematically did it, controlled my calories, tracked my macros, tracked my protein, carbs, fats, and systematically lost 1 to 2 pounds per week.
So you chose to gain up to 250.
Yeah,
you were
so
I've been
in all spectrums. I'm naturally skinny.
Yeah.
And then I was all right, I'm going to get fat as an experiment.
Yeah.
Did it, and then I was all right, now I'm going to lose the weight. And then all I did was just track my calories, I ate the same food every single day.
Fair enough.
Went to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and everything was controlled, and it got done. Was it monotonous? Of course. Was it boring?
I agree with you there. I am naturally this way. This is with working out 4 or 5 times a week.
That's not true.
This is 100% true, bro.
Nah, bro.
No,
come to the gym with me.
It's not natural at all, because at the end of the day, if you don't lose weight, by definition, you're not in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit, then you're gonna either maintain or gain weight, and that's the problem, is that people don't track their calories.
And that's true, but people burn at their resting metabolic rate a different set of calories.
Doesn't matter.
Let's not get too granular right now. Ragini, it's going to be one of those episodes, right? Let's bring in the disagreeers and hear from them.
This is interesting.
And if you could just let us know your name, it'd be great.
Robert Brown.
Okay, so the reason I disagreed, especially when I heard the statement, I don't think I'll ever look at somebody based on their situation and think that I'm disgusted. Like, if I see somebody that's a drug addict on the street that's homeless, I'm not disgusted by that. If I see somebody that's incredibly overweight, I'm not disgusted by that. Do I think that there's an opportunity for growth? Do I think they've been put in a disadvantageous position that's probably makes it harder for them? Absolutely. I think I'm kind of an empath, so when I see somebody, I know that there's things underlying, and one of my best friends is 400 plus pounds. I've helped him lose 150, 200 pounds. He's gained it back. And I don't look at him and say, I'm disgusted, but I know how bad he wants it. And just seeing how hard he tries and then reverts, it's almost more tough for me than to be like, oh, that's disgusting. You know?
I can tell this guy in the Fresh and Fit, this guy in the Fresh and Fit, he does not care. Like, he has like one way of thinking, I can tell.
There's plenty of people that look at me and say, that's disgusting, I never want to look like that. So like, I know what it feels like on the other side to like look the way I do and get people look at me like, ugh, that's gross, to like have that muscle. And to go back to that point, like, you came from a fit place and like deciding to bulk, like that's a conscientious decision to gain weight. Like you already have those habit routines and skills in order to stay in shape. And then you use those same skills you had to pull back on the calories and knowledge you had.
The reason why I use that example is that you can get fat and lose the weight if you know what you're doing and you have the knowledge and everything else like that. It's just about consistency over time. So it's like, I look at it like...
Let me cut you off, because here's one thing that you just said.
Yeah.
You had the tools. So there's people that don't have the tools that you've passed judgment on, and you have failed to realize that with the tools, people are very much capable of achieving amazing things. But
okay, let's talk about said tools.
No, hold on, I'm not done.
Why you cut me off?
I'm
before,
not done.
Remember?
And I stood over there and I listened to you, and I was like, it's a ton of bullshit too.
Sure.
But we're gonna address this, right?
Yeah.
You are passing judgment on people who lack the tools to do what it is that they need to do to get themselves to a certain point of health. There are multitudes of factors that weighs into what goes on with somebody's body. There are people that even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just going to the gym, cutting calories, watching everything that you eat. There are some people that have a disposition. I have a disposition. But does that mean that I'm not active? Does that mean that I'm not doing certain things? No, it doesn't. But you're passing judgment on somebody's body that you know nothing about. Now, on the flip side, what if I turned around and I did the same thing to you? You're talking about how fit and stuff that you are, but you're over there and you're small as compared to these other guys. So how does that feel if someone comes? No, because you said shame, right?
That's a little.
You said shame, right?
Yeah.
So how does that feel if someone comes up and they start shaming you for size? Like, come on, it goes both ways.
We're just in the first prompt. We got to be careful about targeting each other too directly.
This is gonna get.
I mean, I'm not offended. It's fine. He's emotional.
It goes in every direction.
He's obviously very triggered. But yeah, so let's talk about. Let's hit the first part. Tools. What are the tools? The tools are simply knowledge, which you can get for free on the internet. If you have the ability and the discipline to go out there and get the knowledge, then you're going to lose weight. It's just that simple. It's just that people want to always make excuses for why. Oh, my feelings. Oh, I don't know what. You don't know what people are going through. Blah blah blah. No, you can watch your calories. You can go to the gym. You have time to do it. People just like to make excuses.
I don't think anyone's debating that weight loss is impossible here. I think the question is, why do you hate fat people, that you feel the disgust towards it?
Well, like I said before, it's a culmination of a bunch of bad decisions. I'm not going to go ahead and give the same level of respect to someone who's a fat ass to someone that has worked really hard and diligently on their physique, because your body's outward manifestations
There's more
of decisions,
factors to a human being than their body.
Well, you could judge a lot just off of someone's physique. You'd be like, okay, well, this guy is lazy. And that's
I've not heard this guy on the left talk once.
Through their physique. It's the truth.
Abe, I saw you wanted to say
I mean,
something.
just to take it back to the prompt, I think we just kind of went all over the place there.
Yeah. We're still focusing on the word disgust.
Just the word disgust. I mean, I would never look at someone and show disgust towards them. I mean, I think I would respect, like you said.
I think we'll watch the first 20 minutes of the video.
But,
I don't think I'm going to wait the whole hour, but...
I mean, it is earned, but I mean, I think at a humane level, we can learn to appreciate each other's differences.
Yeah, I don't know if like disgust would be the right word, right?
I know.
Greg mentioned some health implications with being overweight or obese.
Yeah.
I think being concerned might be a better.
That's the word I was going to go for.
Word,
like I can show concern for someone for the way that they are, but I would never look at someone and say like, you're disgusting.
But is it any different than if you see somebody who's extremely anorexic, they're 50 pounds, you look at them and you're in shock? Oh my God, like something happens in your body you can't control. You can't stop that. Like how can you not? It's not, I don't hate them.
That's different.
It's just, wow, oh my God, it's like, it's disgusting. Like, holy goodness gracious.
Why would you use the word disgusting, right?
Disgusting.
So you just mentioned the polar opposite of what we are, right? But why would you look at them and be disgusted versus concerned? That is a very specific word, and it has very specific connotations behind it. And when it's used, it's somewhat weaponized as well.
I just feel like they don't really know what they mean by disgust.
And help how we feel. I don't think I can choose like, oh, I just am not. It would be sitting here and lying. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm always going to be honest with people. I'm disgusted. This is just how I feel.
The thing is, when you see a fat person, the reason why it's disgusting and the reason why there's so much pushback on this whole body positivity and people make fun of Lizzo, rightfully so, by the way, is because it's unattractive.
Wait, who is
it's
Lizzo?
unhealthy.
I heard of Lizzo like 2 days ago, because this guy did a video like eating like Lizzo for a day, and I didn't really like know who Lizzo was. Oh, Lizzo's a singer? Oh, fair enough. Okay, cool, fair enough. Touche. Alright, cool, hold on.
Until we had this woke era, they used to put like models and attractive people on the cover of magazines that were in shape. Why? So that people can aspire to look like that. And it's healthy and it looks better in general. You look good, feel good. But when you're fat, it says a lot about you. People aren't going to sit there and be like, let me see if he's a good person. No, they're just going to assume that you're lazy, which you are, by the way, when you're fat, and you don't have discipline, which you are, by the way. So they're just going to assume off of what they see. But that's the world that we live in.
I love how you stated a shit ton of assumptions. You didn't state not one fact. You just stated assumptions.
I want to move on to the next prompt, but we're definitely...
Can I say one thing? Just one question.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you knew he used to be 600 pounds, and how much you weigh now?
I'm 384.
And now he's 384. Do you see him as less disgusting knowing he's lost 220 pounds?
No, that's fantastic.
I think yes.
There's still...
The crazy thing is, this guy in the middle, this bodybuilder on the left, and probably like the lightest guys on one of this right, they probably about the same weight.
So there's still work to be done, but here's the thing, like I said before, unfortunately human beings judge a book by its cover. It's just the world that we live in. Fat people that, identify as 97 genders, whatever, they expect us to change our worldview for them, and that's just not how the world works. Like, it's been that way, it's always going to be that way.
Worldview? That's I think that I don't get.
It's just the world that we're in, like, people are going to,
yeah, it's different, my bad.
Now, let's reset. Jacked men are more attractive than fat men. Will the agreeers please step forward?
I mean, of course, all the jacked men are gonna say that.
How come there's 4 guys over there? All right, we're living in a bizarre world where people don't see the truth. Like, how is it possible that they're thinking, no, being obese and unhealthy is more attractive than being fit and healthy? How is this possible?
Actually, you know what? This is precisely why a majority of women find a majority of men as unattractive. Because a lot of guys think this way, I just be a nice guy and girls are gonna like me. No, they're not. She's not gonna suck your dick with the same veracity when you're a fat as when you're in shape. She's just not. See, people don't understand that women are aroused by one thing and they're attracted by another thing. Women are attracted to, a guy that's confident, ambitious, makes money, etc. Of course, right? But they're aroused by guys that have...
I mean, I feel like being fit comes with discipline, and so technically jacked men are more...
So tendencies, dark triad traits, etc. and guys that are physically in shape.
Two women. That sounded real zesty. 2 women, jacked men are more attractive than fat men. That's my personal...
So if you want to get the best of your woman, where she respects and admires you, while simultaneously being aroused by you so she doesn't cheat on you, you need to have it all.
You're saying that's
because
true for all women?
A majority, a staggering majority of women.
There might be 1% of the world that there's something wrong with them that might think that, you're 600 pounds, it's so hot, I love that, but...
The hot girls that you...
Because really think about it like this. If Okay, hold on. This is a crazy, very crazy thing to say. But if you look at like Duke Dennis, alright? Would or Cardi, Playboy Cardi, or who else has great aura? Would Duke Dennis or Cardi's aura be as high if they were £600? You really gotta, like, I'm just being honest. Realistically, no. The answer is no. So, I know that's a crazy thing to say, but it's true. The aura wouldn't be as high. So, hey.
They want, they exercise their hypergamy to the highest degree, and they want guys that are fit and have their money together, have their life together.
You're looking at me like you want to say something.
Yeah, because the question was, are jacked men more attractive? We all walked over. Are we more attracted to jacked men?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming they framed that because we're all guys here they mean women.
Well, men can be attracted to men.
If I had to switch teams, I'm going with the jack guy.
Obviously, this is going to be like personal biases, but I think attraction is very fluid in the sense that I can 100% admit, like, there was probably 40 pounds of muscle ago is when most women would be like attracted to me. Of course, like fitness girls, they're totally okay with the size I am, but like probably most girls I'm like too much for. So I guess like where do we draw that line of like, I think for example like you would be much more attractive to most women than me. Would you agree with that?
I mean, that doesn't mean that like if you walk
interesting
up to a girl and let's say you're not her, like you're a little bit more muscular than she would like, if you have the charm and charisma, she gonna still go with you, man. It don't matter.
I have an interesting point. Yeah. And no shade on you, but I think if you had Zach, right, you're on the end?
Yep.
If you put Zach and Greg and you put them next to each other and you did a poll, I think that most women would probably pick him if you had to like, because he's got the height and all that. What would you guys say to that?
No.
No? No. Well, we can put it to the test.
But that's not really fair. I'm 48 years old. He's a lot younger than me. He's about a foot taller than me, but you can't compare. I'm an old man. I'm 48 years old.
Obviously, height is a big component. So that you know, so it's not you're comparing apples to oranges. But if you take the same guy, same height, etc., but one guy is fat, one guy's in good shape, she's always going to go with the guy that's in better shape.
Because I've been so surprised.
That's fair enough.
To see on Instagram, there'll be like guys doing like an outfit try on, like not in shape in the slightest bit, and all the comments are women like, I wish like men knew this is how we wish.
I feel like, no, actually, hold on. I feel like that's subjective. Because, because if you're talking about out of non-jacked women, right? Aren't non-jacked women more likely to go with a non-jacked man? I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't really know. I haven't really got facts on this. I'm just stating opinions, but hold on. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I try to try and keep my opinion.
Liars for look good. One thing about you can never believe what women say, man. You believe how they behave, not what they say.
That's a different episode.
That's all right. Bring it on in.
Yeah. I disagree.
I want to see what they're gonna say about fat men being more attractive.
Blanket statement, because attraction is so subjective.
That's what I was thinking. But
I'm a big and tall model by trade. That's what I do. I model clothing brands. I've modeled with major fashion houses. I've been on the covers of magazines. You mentioned before dad bod comments and whatnot and on social media.
Doesn't look bad.
Was flabbergasted when I started. How many people?
I mean, he doesn't really look fat. He doesn't look fat though. I wouldn't say this guy's fat. He's not jacked, but I wouldn't say he's fat.
Were commenting.
So I don't know if his opinion actually stands for the fat man. Like, I know he's on the side of fat men, but he doesn't really look fat. So
me and talking about how attractive I was, that it just kind of, I don't know, showed me that attraction is a lot more subjective than I thought, and people have a much wider range of what they find attractive than specifically a body type.
Is being jacked the most important trait for being attractive? I'd argue for guys, it'd probably be otherwise, right?
Even if he lost the beard and the mustache, you can still tell he's not that fat.
Height would be a very...
He has some fat, but he's not a fat man, if that makes sense.
Money, height, fame, what can you bring to the table?
The number one thing is status. By far status.
People also go after what they think they can get. So if this guy is 6'5" and extremely attractive, and it's like, well, I can't get that guy. I'm attracted to the 10 on 10 supermodel, but I'm not going to get her, so I'll be happy with the 9.9 on 10.
Just to be clear, are we speaking about women being attracted to men?
It's not just about women. It's just about attraction. What is the most attractive, in your opinion, physique for a man?
Okay, I'm speaking from like what women find attractive. So when I speak, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm sexually fluid. So my law of attraction does not adhere to anyone's standards, pretty much. I'm attracted to people in general. So you could be jacked, you could be more plus size, you could be skinny, you could be whatever it is that you are. If I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you.
What are the traits you find most attractive?
I think the way that you carry yourself is a really big thing for me. I can't date someone who lacks confidence because I feel like that seeps into other aspects of your life.
Do you mind if I jump in on the...
Wait, hold on.
Because I feel like that seeps...
Hold on.
I can't date someone who lacks confidence.
Okay.
Because I feel like that seeps into other aspects of your life.
Do you mind if I jump in on the confidence thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So growing up, wasn't too confident in myself, and I gained that confidence when I started losing weight. And I noticed it was me putting myself in positions to get more opportunities with women. Right now, I'm single right now, but I'm doing okay. But the confidence came from me losing weight. So I do agree that it's a subjective kind of standpoint, but socially...
Wait, so he's fighting for the wrong side when he says that.
Yeah, I understand that physically fit...
He just said he's more confident when he lost weight.
And so that's just like what everyone's liking. It's like
I don't think it's as subjective as guys are trying to say. Attraction isn't a choice, and there are hardwired traits that women look for in men. And what I've come to realize is that what women put out there as what they find attractive are politically correct things. Oh, he has a dad bod. He's nice. He's a good guy. The reality is that women don't respond well and favorably to these men. There's a reason why nice guys finish last is a thing. It's because when you're too nice and you kind of bend to her will, etc., girls aren't aroused by that. Girls don't want to say what they're really aroused by. Guys that are able to stand up to them, guys that are able to tell them, well, that was a stupid comment, or hold them accountable for their stupidity when they do dumb things. This is what women find attractive.
That wasn't the question.
These are leadership traits.
Have any of those things happened to you, though?
Well, I mean, I've talked to almost 3,000 women, and what I've come to realize from talking to
Wait, he's been counted?
That most of the time...
And 3,000 is hella specific. So he has to have counted.
You know, when they're in the comment section of TikTok, like, you're so handsome, blah, blah, blah. Will they actually go on a date and have sex with that guy? Probably not. But they say that because it's politically correct, and women tend to not want to be adversarial. They're going to say what sounds good, but what they're actually aroused by are two different things.
But they're married to those guys.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was
Most
getting to.
often they're married to...
I'm married.
And marriage is a failed institution in the West, and this is why most men get divorced by women. This is why they get destroyed in the divorce courts. This is why women overwhelmingly initiate the divorce rates in America. 80% are initiated by women, because we sit here and we lie and we believe what women say they're actually attracted to. No, they're not attracted to.
Let's go back to attraction for a second, though, because I'm married. Sure. I have a child.
Cool.
I have a beautiful wife. Mm-hmm. I was this size the entire process through it.
Would you say that you're an average guy?
He's not. He's like an average guy. He's not fat.
I would say that I'm bigger than average.
Yeah, you're not an average guy.
And a model
you're not an average guy.
for being slightly overweight.
I wasn't a model when I started dating
But you are
my
a very
wife.
good-looking, tall,
I was a
big
bartender
guy who's
doing
on
whatever.
magazine covers. So out of the million guys overweight, you're at the top.
You're not an average guy.
But I think what you're missing is he just said that he wasn't any of those things.
He's not 5'6", man, like me.
Met his
Try
wife.
being 5'6" and doing it.
No, I totally agree with you. Well, that's what I was gonna actually agree with Myron for a second. Believe it or not, we were talking about. You mentioned status, and then a lot of people other mentioned confidence. So you even put in your own pecking order ahead of being jacked or being physically attractive. Wouldn't you say that matters more? Confidence, how you carry yourself, how you do it?
I mean, the prompt was simply, is it either you're jacked or
I'm not
what's
going to
more
argue
attractive?
the fact that our society definitely finds jacked guys more attractive. But I disagreed with the statement because it was a blanket statement that I have found untrue in my own life.
Do all of you feel like you'd be more or less attractive, let's say 50 pounds lighter than you are, and simply like just body fat?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I struggled with for a while is...
I feel like he's not gonna agree with any of the things to Jackson, like any of the points to the Jackson. It feels like he's disagreeing with everything.
In me losing weight, am I still going to be able to book the jobs that I book? Because I've built an entire brand off of my body. I mean, granted, like, cool as shit. Like, you know, I did something that's all my own. Like, I worked on that. But then I was also just like, if I lose this, are you still gonna want me to like do this campaign for you? Are you still gonna want me in your magazine? Are you still gonna want to?
By the end of the day, like, it's up to you. It's not about the magazine. And I mean, I guess that's your life, but I don't know.
Dress me. And then I had to like take a step back and say like, well, what is it for me? Do I want to be skinny? No. Do I want to look like Greg? No. Do I want to look like Myron? No. But I know I want to look like me. I think talking about the law of attraction, you focus.
Wait, but then he's basically saying if modeling aside and money aside, he would go and be 50 pounds lighter.
So heavy about what women would find attractive and the perspective of the woman. And
his biggest worry isn't is he still going to look like him. It's more, is he still going to look like him so he can book magazine jobs and get modeling jobs?
I feel like, are you even attracted to yourself? When you look in that mirror, when you put your clothes on, are you like, damn, like I did that? Because when I got up this morning and I threw on my outfit, I was just like, yeah, I ate that.
Well, if you're going to talk about being attractive, etc., typically people are speaking from a romantic sense, from a heterosexual standpoint of men and women. So that's why I answered the question, because it was very broad. That's what I mean. But of course, you need to be able to look at the mirror and respect the man that you see looking back at you. When you look back and you see the guy and you're in shape, etc., and you feel good about yourself, look good, feel good. A byproduct of that is that women just tend to find you more attractive. It all works together in tandem.
Are you happy with the way you look?
Of course, of course. But I had to work to build this physique, and it took many years. I was an athlete in college, I was a Division I athlete. It took many years to be able to do this. So,
what'd you play?
I rowed in college, crew.
Oh, sweet.
Rowing. Yeah.
I like rowing.
So I think when fat people look at the mirror and they say, oh, I like that, that's coat, man. No, you don't. They say that to try to bring themselves up, but the reality is most of the time when you're fat, you look in the mirror, you're like, damn, I really let myself go.
Not every
You're like, you know what? It's not that much of a priority, so fuck it.
Abe didn't get to answer the question going around.
Yeah, I was in the same boat as you, just because I feel like I don't agree with the blanket statement. Personally, for myself as a gay man, I find myself attractive. I would say like I go for guys like you as well, and I feel like I get a lot of hits on those types of guys, and I'm pretty content with how I navigate my attraction, and I think it goes a lot to the status and their confidence. So, like we said, so.
All right, let's go to the next prompt. After 4 years, the Radical Empathy podcast is now.
You have to separate the health implication with you just being confident, right? Like I'm all for people to feel confident.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna end with like an opinion on this. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, I don't want the comments to turn into like a whole like a whole argument section. But I don't know what it. Wait, let me go to the end of the video. I want to see if they actually found a middle ground or not. I'm not gonna spend the whole time watching the actual.
Didn't have diabetes. Didn't have anything else. So I was like, okay, well, I just want to lose weight because obviously as I get older, it's not gonna be like that. But I mean, perfectly, I know I have the control to get where I'm at right now or where I want to be, but I'm pretty happy. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like what's sustainable is different for everyone, right? I think I
think that's a wrap, right?
A little surprised.
Change.
Yeah.
Okay, when the time comes, when you want to do it. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I was very curious, out of show of hands, who here feels like after spending time in this space, you feel like you're closer to understanding the other side than when we stepped in the room?
Oh, I knew the guy, this fresh for life fitness guy at the end was not gonna he was so strong on his opinion. Greg is understandable because Greg's been in the industry for years, but I knew this guy was this guy was Andrew Tate on his opinions. But so anyway, this is a good video. Jubilee, love the stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Don't turn it into an argument, please. But have a debate. You can have debates in the comment section. I don't really care. I'm not gonna block you guys' comments. Yxngtobz, let's get it.